Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. In today's video, we're going to do a breakdown on Remington 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch 9 pellet double-aught buck at 1325 FPS. Their standard 12 gauge double-aught buck load. There's one thing I want to mention before moving forward here. You can see if this was mirrored the right way around, it would say $8.99. Well, they tried their absolute hardest. I'm not going to say where these came from, but I'm sure some of you guys will know when I turn this around. You can see, once again, that says $8.99. They tried their hardest to cover that original sticker, but I noticed they, obviously raised it up $1. I hate that. I really dislike the store I got these from. Again, I'm not going to say what it was, but it's not just this kind of stuff right here they want more for. It's everything. From lawn care stuff, clothing, fishing stuff, hunting, sports, you name it. They want sometimes even double the price other stores want. But sometimes that's, what you gotta do when you want something that no one else has. Today's snooze and drink combo is Starbucks Nitro Cold Brew. This is a black coffee that is nitro, and it's on. This being black coffee, it is not sweet at all, kind of dark, earthy, and so is this. It's a dark tobacco flavor with dark chocolate. That is the flavor in this. It is not sweet at all, just dark chocolate like cocoa powder. Pretty good combo. But anyway, our box is the regular green and yellow Remington box. The front of it just says shot shells, Remington buckshot, 5 plastic shot shells, and a warning. Done read the specs off. This side of it is our buckshot size chart, and it tells you a little bit about what this is. May be used with any choke, but best results with full. We'll put that to the test. The other side of the box is the same as this side. The back of the box is more warnings. If you want to read anything, just pause it. Done seen that side. And this side right here, if I had it oriented the right way, tells you not to put 20 gauge shells in 12 gauge guns. Don't shoot these in anything shorter than 2 3/4 inch chamber. Don't place 12 gauge and 8 gauge guns. All that basic stuff. Let's move on. So here's what the shell looks like. A typical Remington green hull with a very tall brass plated steel head. Head stamp says Remington 12 gauge. It seems some Remington shells are now using a Federal hull. This one's still Remington. But nothing special here. It's just a regular Express hull. It's kind of hard to read, but it does say Express 9 double-aught buck Remington. It should say 70 millimeter 2 3/4 inch right there. Again, it's really faded off. Max 1050 bar, 6-point fold crimp. There was an attempt to put some kind of sealant there, but not a very good one. The crimp is kind of shallow, no taper whatsoever. I've seen worse. The main reason I've wanted to do a breakdown on these for a while, and I've had trouble finding them honestly, but these actually have a wad, just like the 3.5 inch version. Now, yeah, this is a 9 pellet load, but I've been told that there is 8 in here that are stacked by 2s, and on top we do have the 9th pellet, so it's sort of an uneven stack, but we'll see. I do have the 3-inch version, and that being a 15 pellet load. I don't think those have a wad, but we'll see that in a future video. Let's crack this open now. I have some of the buffer dumped out, and I have figured out how they've done this. The pellets are not stacked symmetrical. They are in sort of a zigzag pattern. It's hard to see on camera, but the one on your left is raised up a bit higher than the one on the right. So, sort of a zigzag arrangement in there. That's how they got 9 pellets in a wad, and we do obviously have a wad in there. So, let's keep going. So, 9 pellets of double-aught weighs right at 1 1/8 ounces, and we have 1.194. That is actually more than 1 1/8 ounce, so they are using true 33 cal double-aught here. And the buffer is making up the excess payload. So I'll measure one of these and confirm if it's actually 33 cal or not, but it looks like it is. So these pellets are pretty out of round. They range from 323 all the way up to 34 cal, but they are the weight of a 33 cal double-aught. This one is 0.335. 3335, excuse me. But I think you can tell right there that one is out of round, and if you can't, well, that one you can really tell. I want to apologize for the audio issues in this video. I have no idea what the problem is. And here's what the entire payload looks like. We have our Remington buffer, which is actually pretty good stuff. It's very similar to Winchester's Grex. Hi, Daisy. She just jumped up here. And you can see all 9 pellets. Again, they are all sort of out of round, not the best buckshot in the world, but also far from the worst. I have seen far worse than this. Here's what the wad looks like. It's a Remington SP series wad, obviously, with a relatively tall shot cup. I do not think this is a wad that we can get on the commercial market, but if I'm wrong, correct me. Not a bad wad at all, though. It's not great for turkey loads. This is what they put in their nitro turkeys, which is why those don't pattern as good as stuff like the XX, Super X from Winchester. These do have ribs inside the pedals. You can see right there. And that does make it sort of hard to stack buckshot, but they do that. I've noticed Claybuster does the same thing on a lot of their wads. Not all of them, but most of them that are Winchester clones anyway. For a charge, we have 26.2 of more black flake powder that we very often see in Remington shells and other brands. This is a very common style of powder. I'm sure it's not the same powder that, you know, every brand uses, but it's a common style. And here's a better view of that. Nothing special. Again, we see this in a lot of shells. And as for our hull, it is a straight wall, low yellow base wad. You can see the primer is sticking up above it just a little bit. It's closer to a medium height base wad, but we'll call it low. And our Remington primer. Yep, just a regular Remington Nitro / Express hull. Really good ones. Nice thick sturdy plastic. They do reload pretty well. Well, I cannot recreate the stack order that Remington had in here, so I have it done like this. There is 4 stacks of 2 and then 1 on top, and you can see that 9th pellet right there is all within the wad. They could have put 10 pellets in here and just done a 10 pellet load, not a 9. That would have been my, you know, way to go with this, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. But, you know, the industry standard is 9 pellets, so that's what we see here. Although, again, I would have done 10 because, obviously, that's what should have been done. And here's what it looks like put back together. Looks just like it did when it came out of the box. I did not bother using a guip or anything on it to give it a taper because none of the rest of them do. I just want to keep this one exactly how I found it, I guess. But yeah, guys, we will do a video on these. I think they would actually pattern pretty well, too. No, this is not a perfect load or anything like that, but it seems from what I can see on YouTube, others are getting very, very good patterns with these. Check out Matt Tyree's channel. It's just under his name, Matt Tyree. He has had really good luck with these. Actually, Matt is how I discovered these had a wad in the first place. I bought some of these years ago, and I do not recall them having a wad, but then again, we didn't put any on paper. We just shot them for fun. But I think that's going to end this one here. You guys take it easy. We'll see you in the next one.